Now, please let this dinosaur resolve. This is going to be absolutely sweet if this resolves. Oh my god, okay. Alright, Discover 5, let's go. Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are playing the new Trumpeting Carnosaur. Carnosaur has been absolutely destroying it in Legacy and in Pioneer. And as soon as I saw Manguchi post this list, I knew I had to give it a try. So it is just like a general scam deck, all the normal good stuff. But then you randomly get to sometimes reanimate a Trumpeting Carnosaur or a Troll using Persist. So the idea is that you can still do scam stuff like as normal, but sometimes you just randomly get to go Persist, bring back Carnosaur, Discover 5, like hit Fury, hit Fable, that kind of stuff. There's some really sweet synergies in the deck as well. So you can use things like Fable to create a token of the Carnosaur, and because Carnosaur is an ETB, not a cast like Cascade normally is, you can start just discovering 5 every turn as well. There are a couple of concessions you have to make, like you don't have as much space in the main deck. In fact, these Dothies are actually in the sideboard. There we go, that's better. So that is actually the correct main deck. So yeah, you lose out on Dothi, but you do get to play some really, really sweet turn 2s if you can somehow get something big in the graveyard early. And also, like, persisting a Fury, still not that bad, right? Like, you still get the ETB, you still get a 2/2 double strike. But realistically, we're here to Discover 5, have a 7/6 in play, and we'll see how early we can do it. And then if you want to see the sideboard is pretty standard. I really don't like the Dothies in the sideboard. Those are normally Leyline in the Voids. And I really don't like the Thought Seizers. But we're playing the list that was online. I'm not going to mess around with it too much. I just want to get some big, juicy dinosaurs in play. What more could we ask for? So let's get into some gameplay. All right, on the play. Got that YouTuber luck. Let's go. And what do we got? Not a lot going on here. So obviously we've got the Grief and the Fury, but nowhere to reanimate them. I think we're going to go ahead and send that one back. And no land. All right, let's go for the five card hand. All right, we've got a Ragavan. We'll see what we can do with this. Obviously, we'll put back a Not Dead After All. And then, do we just keep this and hope that we draw a Persist? I think we kind of have to. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but my light is flickering. Okay, it seems to have stopped. It's all good. And now I feel like I can't see anything. All right, let's go ahead and keep. Let's put back 1 land, 1 Not Dead After All, and see where this hand can get us. In hindsight, that probably could have been better to keep the fetch there, just because then if we draw Molten Collapse, we can enable it, but I don't think it's going to be too relevant. Hopefully not. We've got Treasures. Oh no, Treasures don't enable Descend, so that will not work. Treasures are permanents, but they are not permanent cards, which apparently is a very key distinction. Oh, the Ragavan Mirror. So we're against Blue-Red Murktide by the look of it. And what do we got? We just draw a land. Okay. Well, I think that we do just offer the trade and we just bring our Ragavan back. I guess we could have kept hold of it, but I think we want to get a Ragavan in play. Start hitting our opponent and things. We'll just go ahead and play this tapped and pass the turn. So next turn we have got a mighty 3-mana shock. Sorry, it's not a 3-mana shock. It's a 3-mana lightning spear, except it only goes to creatures and players. It doesn't even go face. Well, I assumed that could go to any target, but I guess not. Alright, opponent just goes ahead and main phase bolts our Ragavan, which is fine, I think. I'm not really sure what we can do other than draw a Persist and completely get a blowout with this Carnosaur. Alright, we've got another one. So we just need our opponent to actually play a threat that we can shoot. And then hopefully we're going to just draw a Persist and steal this game maybe. Because if our opponent just goes like untap, Expressive Iteration, and keeps up mana and all that good stuff, then this could be quite a struggle. That's it. All right, Shredder on board. We have a target. Hopefully they're going to go and trigger this now. That would be really handy here. They are. Okay, perfect. So we're just going to go ahead and activate this now. We get to kill the Shredder. I don't think it's a huge deal that we kill it. I guess it will spiral out of control eventually. But it does just feel like we're on a persist or bust. I guess we could just draw like griefs and stuff, but yeah, they're only down to 2 cards, but they're going to loot with the Shredder. They're going to draw from the bauble. This double mulligan is really rough against the blue-red lists. But it's okay. We're going to top deck a persist. We're going to bring back a Carnosaur, and we're just going to completely blow our opponent out of the water. And they're not going to know what to think. Okay, Mishra's Bauble, targeting... targeting themselves. Okay. So they do want to keep that on top because they haven't cracked their fetch. Hopefully we're going to draw a persist here. We don't. All right, well, we just send it back to our opponent here. We are ready with our Carnosaur. Just as soon as they play a dude, we're going to shock it. Sorry, not shock. We're going to bolt it. And if they play a big Murktide, we have an answer to that too. So things aren't looking as bad as I originally thought, to be honest. But yeah, things could definitely turn our way. All right, there's the EI. This is the power of blue-red. When there's not too much going on, they just have so much card selection, card draw, everything like that. It's a very daunting deck to play against when nothing's happening, because you just feel like you're losing the game and nothing's really changing that much. Okay, well, we've got another land, so top deck griefs and things like that are now live. The second part of Molten Collapse I don't actually think is relevant in this matchup. Destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. So the only thing that can target is Bauble, but obviously they just crack in response, so that doesn't really matter. Oh, we've got another bolt target here. We are going to go ahead and use the Carnosaur over the Molten Collapse. The main reason for that is because Molten Collapse kills Murktide. So we might as well try and keep the collapse. Ooh, another land is not ideal. We'll go ahead and play it, that's fine. Maybe it was greedy to kill that with the Carnosaur, and we should have just tried to hold up the other one and try and hardcast it. 6 mana is quite a lot in Modern. We're up to 5 though, so maybe that is actually something that's plausible. Alright, another expressive iteration. They're going to have so many counter spells in their hand, right? I assume they're just looking for one big Murktide. Alright, another Bauble. You got it. Where is it going? Targeting themselves again. So they're just manipulating their deck here with their fetches. We're just going to go ahead and end of turn fetch here. There's no reason to keep this up for Molten Collapse, as there's not going to be any target for it. Opponent draws off the Mishra's Bauble, that's fine. What do we get? A Ragavan. Well, pretty sure this is going to die, but we'll give it a go. One way or another, I think this Ragavan is going to end up in the bin. They got 5 cards in hand. There is no way in hell that they're going to let this hit. Yeah, there's the Unholy Heat. All right, fair enough. They're not even cracking their eyelet, which just shows you that they really do. I guess that, yeah, they might be playing around Orcish Bowmaster, but I think it's pretty clear at this point we don't have it. I think a couple more draw steps and we are just going to throw in the towel here. Alright, opponent's got their own Ragavan, so this is one of those situations where Terminate is better than Molten Collapse. Really being punished for the sorcery speed aspect of Molten Collapse, but obviously it's probably not going to resolve anyway. Like, they've got 3 cards in hand, they've Expressive Iteration twice, They've baubled twice, which means they've had the option to shuffle away and they haven't. So they're liking the cards that they're drawing. So I can't imagine much else is going to happen for us this game. See if we'll give it one more draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are one short of casting this, unfortunately. I just find it so hard to believe that anything is ever going to resolve. I think I'll play it out, but if this is just we play a spell, they counter it for the next couple of turns, then I will just fast forward this for you guys because it's probably not worth watching if we just get everything countered. End of turn subtlety. Yeah, that's pretty scary that they have the ability to do that. We're gonna concede at this point. I can't see that going anywhere. I think the Chalices possibly are good in this matchup, and Dothy and Sheoldred are pretty good. What is bad in this matchup? Let's see. Thoughtseize isn't great. It's good early game, but if you get into top deck mode with them, which is quite common, it's not very good. And when you do get into top deck mode, they just top deck expressive iterations and stuff, so they can kind of just grind through them. Anything else in particular that's bad against our opponent? I'm not a big fan of Fury in this matchup. The reason for that is because you don't turn one scam it always. I guess you can do. We definitely want the Sheoldred just in top deck mode. It is fantastic. If we bring in the Chalices, we can take out some of these lower costed creatures. What are we doing? So, do we even want Dothy? I'm pretty sure we do because it stops Unholy Heat and Murktide from becoming enabled. Maybe we don't bother with the Chalice. We still need to cut some cards though. So let's cut. Our opponent is going to be taking out Ragavans on the draw, I would expect. So we're going to cut our bolts. And one more card to cut. I think we're just going to cut our Ragavan. They've got like 7, 8 ways to deal with it for 1 mana. I think we're going to be more reliant on our heavy hitters. Sure, we'll go ahead and keep this. We do have the dreaded turn 1 Fury, which I hate doing against our opponent when they can just completely blow us out with Unholy Heats and things, but we're going to do it. See if our opponent's got the turn 1 subtlety. They doesn't look like they do. All right, opponent, can you beat a turn 1 8/4? It's not unreasonable to beat it. It does take a while to get enough going to get enough damage. So like you need like a bolt and an Unholy Heat. Maybe we'll just get enough damage in before then so that it doesn't matter. Let's find out. I think the sideboard that Dak built is a little bit strange. I'm not sure about the Dothys, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, opponent leads off with a Preordain. They're just desperately looking to get Delirium and find an Unholy Heat. Maybe they can do one of those two things quite easily, but doing both before like turn 3 or 4 can be quite tricky to do. Sure, we'll play the fetch, and there's not really much else to consider, so we're just gonna send the Fury in, do the classic scam thing of make your opponent have it. So they currently got Sorcery in the graveyard. They're looking... Land is normally an easy one, so they're probably hoping to find like a Mishra's Bauble or something, because we will probably not be killing any of their creatures. Just another Preordain, so still only 1 out of the 4. Are they just passing the turn here? They are, okay. That's pretty good for us. We drew a Carnosaur, which is interesting. Probably not going to do much, but that's fine. So we're going to whack our opponent down to 4 here. Just a massive shame that this doesn't go face. That would be so relevant. Would that make it too good? I don't think so. I think the Discover mechanic is just really weird. And that's like, I think that's the only reason this card is really broken. The 3 mana deal 3 is virtually irrelevant. It's just happy upside, I guess. We'll go ahead and fetch end of turn here. If we draw a land, we can Sheoldred. But they still need to answer this Fury, so... Oh, they've got it. Okay, sure. All right. Fury down. But our opponent is just down to 3 life, so... Doesn't take much to kill them at this point. Maybe this Sheoldred will just do the job. They literally have to go untap, upkeep, answer this Sheoldred because they're only on 2. Do you have something, opponent? They don't. Okay, sweet. So it only took, what, 3 cards to kill our opponent there? Absolute nonsense by the scam deck. On the draw, what changes? I think we like Ragavan even less than normal. They probably bring their Ragavans back in. So we're going to take out 2 of the bolts. Maybe they keep them out, I'm not sure. Do we want Chalice against them on the draw just to slow the game down? Maybe we could do that instead. It's just a bit of a risk if they bring in Ragavan and we have Chalice. We'll keep 1 Chalice. Yeah, let's give that a go. Well, this looks pretty good. We've got some early interaction. Eventually we can Carnosaur something and then bring it back. I think we'll go ahead and keep this. It's not amazing, but it seems fine. Okay, so no turn 1 Ragavan. And we draw Molten Collapse. Sure. So we'll just go ahead and play the land and pass. I think we can actually go to the late game reasonably well post-combat. Post-sideboarding. Like, we have Sheoldred in our deck. We have Furies to top deck and Carnosaurs and stuff. Like, I don't think... As long as they don't just, like, chain iterations and we actually are able to apply pressure at, like, turn 3 and 4 and things, I don't think it's the end of the world that we don't have a Ragavan on turn 1 or something. Okay, what do they got for 2 mana? They just pass. So it looks like they want to shuffle away with their Bauble. We draw a Dothy, which is really nice here. I'm expecting this to see some sort of counterspell or removal, as it's the first spell we've cast and they've got 2 mana up. They'll have something for this, but that's fine. Hopefully we'll draw out the counterspell. Stern Scolding. 1 blue... Sorry, a blue mana, not 1 blue. Counter target creature spell with power or toughness 2 or less. Nice. So that hits Grief, Dothy, and Ragavan. But that's about it. Not sure how much I like that card, to be honest. Oh, also it hits Bowmasters. Yeah, much better now that I've realized it hits Bowmaster. Oh, a Chain and the Preordains over here. What on earth are they doing? Scry's 2, 1 top, 1 bottom, and the second one? Having a think. We're just looking for them to play a threat so we can shoot it with the Carnosaur, because you have to have a target. Discard it, it deals damage to target creature or play. So it's not like it's up to 1 target. Sure. We'll play the mountain and pass. Okay, so post-sideboard, it can matter with the non-land permanent, because some people play the 1 mana artifact. This says like creatures can't enter the graveyard. Sorry, creatures can't come into play from the graveyard. So that turns off like persist and that. So blowing that up is actually very relevant. And another swamp. Come on, deck. I think realistically, if our opponent plays a creature, maybe they like tap out for something. No, they're not going to tap out. If they can just like play a big dude, we can Carnosaur it and then maybe can do something with it. Or are we just trying to hardcast this first? Yeah, maybe we just wait and hardcast this. I think it's gotten to that point now. Opponent just passes. All right, well, we're just going to untap here. I don't really want to trigger this if we don't need to. We draw Fury. So if we hardcast Fury, I feel like it's just going to get countered, but that might just be okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's fetch first and not get caught out. We can just go get a swamp, that's fine. Pretty sure this is going to get countered, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Oh, it actually resolves. That's really, really good for us. So now even if they kill this, I don't think we really care. We're a land away from just resolving our huge threat. I would expect if they do have a counter spell, they might have let this resolve because they really don't want this to resolve, and they know that we've obviously had a very slow hand, so they can probably see this coming because they've already seen it before, right? And they dash Ragavan. Sure. What do you got? What does our opponent get from the Rags? A Chalice. That could be interesting. I can't imagine that they're going to want to put this on 1 or 0, considering they play Bauble and like at least 8 cantrips. So I would imagine that they're just going to pass the turn here. Yeah. Awesome. So hopefully we're going to get a land off the top here and we can just slam this Carnosaur. No, but Bowmaster's pretty good. I think we're going to save the Persist for the Carnosaur. I don't really see the point in using it on a Fury here when I'd much rather it resolve on the Carnosaur. If Persist resolves, it's significantly more impactful on the Carnosaur because then you get the Discover. Whereas if it resolves on the Fury, they can just kill it afterwards and we don't get any value. Okay, so here's the Ragavan. And what we're going to do is we're going to first of all bait them with a Bowmaster, I think. See if they want to counter this. They do. That's fine. And now we can... Actually, no. We're not going to pitch this. We're going to try and draw a land. So we're just going to bolt this. Okay, so now if we draw a land, we can hardcast the Carnosaur. Oh, wait. Are they tapping out? They're playing a Murktide by the look of it. That's fine with us, I think. How big is this Murktide going to be? Oh, there we go. 5 cards exiled. 7/7. That's pretty respectable. And they've left 1 mana open. We draw a Dothy. So I think what we want to do is play the Dothy. And let's just get rid of the Murktide. Maybe it was better to do this first, actually, because then we could have played around Spell Pierce. Yeah, definitely should have done that the other way around, but that's fine. And come on, we just need to land off the top, and we can slam this Carnosaur. It's just been staring at us all game. The potential is so high with it. Sure. Fury resolves. Now, do we care about this? I don't think so. I think we'd rather just wait for the Carnosaur. Come on. Oh, we still miss our land, but we kind of draw a land. All right. Let's just go ahead and cycle this. And I think we're just going to be greedy and try and cast this next turn. So the options are we pitch this, deal 3, and then bring it back. Or we wait until next turn, hard cast it. I don't think we're going to have enough time, actually. Yeah, we should have shocked there. I guess the other option is just bring back Fury, kill their Fury. And then we can still hardcast this the following turn. Yeah, and then if we draw a land, we can not dead after all it as well. Okay, that's fine. So let's just go 2 mana, persist on our own Fury, kill their Fury. We play around Spell Pits here too. Alright, so we eat your Fury, which is pretty good for us. And we'll pass the turn back. Now, if our opponent wants to somehow cast another Fury, we can not dead after all this. Oh no, wait, this gets a finality counter, right? No, it doesn't. It's just a -1/-1. Okay, nice. And we draw Grief. Alright, well, let's hit our opponent here for 4. And I think things are looking really good for us now. They've got 2 cards in hand. We've just got absolute haymakers in hand. Are we just casting this Carnosaur, or do we Grief? I think we might as well just Grief. I really want to keep up the Carnosaur for when we get a not dead after all. So then if it resolves, we just get to bring it back if they kill it. And then I just can't imagine us losing after that. Okay, nice. We got rid of the counter spell. So opponent is down to now 2 cards in hand. One's just fresh. They have to answer this. It's only attacking for 4 each turn, but 4 is still a reasonable chunk. And they go for the bolt. I think we're fine with that. I think we're just going to go for the Carnosaur, whether we draw a land or not. Okay, that's perfect. Now, please let this dinosaur resolve. This is going to be absolutely sweet if this resolves. Oh my god, okay. Alright, discover 5. Let's go. And we we go into Fable, which is a fantastic target to hit. And that's got to be game at this point. Yeah, sure. You can Unholy Heat it. Next turn, we can Persist it. I can't imagine how our opponent ever comes back from this. They have got Delirium, obviously. Artifact, land, instant, creature, no sorcery. And now they have a sorcery. That's fine. Alright, so Fable, we get to draw a card. Hopefully we can draw something that's relevant. Dothy. I think we're happy to get rid of the Dothy. I like keeping both of these because we're just going to use them on Carnosaur. We draw a Fury as well. Our poor opponent. Where is... There it is. Carnosaur. And I assume that's a concession. It is. Okay, sweet. So Carnosaur, it doesn't even have to be on like turn 5 or something, or turn 6. We literally just resolved it on turn 11 and it still did the job. So, yeah, Carnosaur, really, really sweet. Very, 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 very impressed with it. On the play, nice. Always got that YouTuber luck. Why would you not, right? Well, this hand kind of does nothing, but I can see some good draws, making this pretty good. Obviously, Persist is really good. We'll go ahead and keep. If we draw a Grief, that's really good. Yeah, I think we've got a good enough set of top decks where this is probably worth keeping. I think it's pretty close, though. Opponent is deciding if they want to keep. They've mulliganed to 6 so far. All right. Let's just lead off with a Cliffs. Do we want to cycle this straight away? Probably. A third land drop is pretty nice. 6 mana is quite far away, but I guess we could keep it for 1 turn just in case we draw a Grief. We're not under any mana constraints right now. So yeah, I think we'll keep this for a turn. We'll see what we draw. You know, a Grief off the top, and that'd be wonderful. Oh, are we in the mirror match? I don't know why I said that, sounding like almost shocked. Oh, okay. Bloodstone Mire into Ragavan. So they fetched a Mountain, which to me suggests that this is not the mirror. Because generally you don't want to play Mountain in these lists. Alright, Swamp off the top. As that's the case, I kind of just want to keep this in hand. Is that greedy? That probably is greedy. We'll see how things go. Opponent cycles their Street Wraith. So are they playing some sort of... Okay, they're playing an Asmo list. Interesting. So they go to get their cookbook. And they're fetching here. So we'll go ahead and... We'll just bolt this now. We could wait until next turn so that we could discard this. But I don't want them to then have their cookbook in play. Alright, so we untap. What do we got? Maybe a little Grief would be nice. Sadly not. That's fine. Let's go ahead and play the Mire and we'll just pass the turn. Opponent cycles another Street Wraith. So they're down to 14 and we have done nothing to them, which is quite nice. They crack the bauble targeting themselves. And they just pass the turn. Okay, we should probably just cycle this, I think. No, there's no need. We don't need another land. We'll just go get a Blood Crypt. And tapped. And untap. What do we got? Okay, opponent goes up to 4 cards because they draw from their bauble. We draw Persist. So we can now just cycle this and then persist it. That seems pretty good. So we'll go ahead and swamp cycle the ogre. Is it an ogre? It looks like an ogre. No, it's a troll. I don't really know what the difference is, but it is that instead of a ogre. And we'll go ahead and pay to persist the troll. I think it's worth just using on this. Obviously, it's way more value on this on the Carnosaur, but I mean a 5/4 that has like super menace. It seems pretty good, especially if the opponent tries to kill it and then we can not dead after all. Then it will go to 6 toughness. Unfortunately, I think that still dies to Asmo. Does Asmo make it fight itself or deal 6? Yeah, target creature deals 6 to itself. Okay. And they're just passing the turn. Okay, that's good for us. Let's go ahead and play the Swamp. 5 mana, 1 more to go. Hopefully this Ragavan is going to get us that extra mana that we need for this big old dinosaur. With the printing of all these new dinosaurs, I definitely knew that I was going to be playing some sort of dinosaur deck at some point. Probably I was expecting more of a red-green aggro list in Pioneer, not a scam list in Modern, playing a 6 mana creature. Another Galvantic Blast. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and save it this time. This is just so much pressure on its own. Next turn, we want to be doing this. So I think we just want to be efficient with our mana and have a huge dude in play. Oh, Galvantic Blast didn't even kill it. Oh, my bad. I think that was a misplay by both players there, actually. I mean, it worked out for them quite nicely. They got the... We could have just got a a card out of their hand for free, but instead we have missed out on our not dead after all. But that's fine. Yeah, I just assumed this would kill it, but no. They're only 1 out of 3, so yeah, that was an oversight, but hopefully that won't matter too much. I land off the top, and we could just cast this dinosaur. And they've got their own Ragavan, which they're choosing to dash. So if they want to make a dude with their Saga, they have to use this treasure for that. What'd they get? A mountain. Oh, we could have done so much with that mountain. All right, opponent just passes the turn. I assume they're going to try and make a dude at end of turn. Unfortunately for them, it can't block because we have Mega Menace. I don't know what the official term. There isn't, I guess. There isn't a term for Mega Menace, so I am going to name it myself. So Menace is obviously can't be blocked except by 2 or more. Mega Menace is 3 or more. What do you got, opponent? Create a food token. Yeah. And now Galvanic Blast it. Yeah, nice. Well, that's fine. We still get to go play a swamp, and for some reason we are casting 6 mana dinosaurs in modern. Come on, Carnosaur, what we got? And we hit Fable. Okay, really nice hit there. Feeling pretty good about things now. We've got the Carnosaur. We've got the Carnosaur ready to go. We've got a Fable as well. If we could start copying these, that seems pretty ridiculous because this is an ETB. So I'm pretty sure if you start copying these, you just repeat the ETB, which just sounds ridiculous. I assume they're going to go get some broken 1-mana artifact. I assume it will be either another cookbook, but they're not really using this one. So maybe a Shadow Spear? Is Shadow Spear the pick? It is. Okay, sure. So it does have Summoning Sickness. And they've got a Darcy as well. Sure. Is this a spike list? This looks like a spike list to me. And we draw the Persist. Really good draw there. So we're just going to go ahead and hit no. And we're going to swing with both. If they want to trade into the dinosaur, that's fine. We'll just bring it back, and then we get to discover again. Okay, sure. So I guess we kill the construct. Yeah. All right, so we kill the construct. And opponent goes down to 6. Main phase 2. All right, let's cascade or somewhat cascade again and see what happens. We could have gone for the troll, but I think this looks way more fun. Oh my god, and we hit the molten collapse. So that was pretty insane. So destroy target creature, destroy target non-land creature. So let's go for this and Shadow Spear. Oh, that doesn't seem very fair. That was that was absolutely brutal. Yeah, and the opponent picks it up. All right, fair enough. Carnosaur is just doing absolute work. Okay, in this matchup, Consumes All is just absolutely phenomenal. Destroy each non-land permanent with one mana or less means you blow up all their cookbooks, you blow up their Shadow Spear, you blow up Asmo because Asmo is 0 CMC, and you blow up all their foods. So yeah. Consume, very, very good in this matchup. We'll bring in the Blood Moons as well because of Saga, and Dothy also shuts off Graveyard Shenanigans. What we don't want in this matchup is Ragavan. I don't actually think is very good. They normally have ways to block, I think. And I don't think Thoughtseize is great either. They do have Ragavan, so maybe we need to keep the bolts. Actually, no. You know what? We'll cut the bolts. We've got Bowmasters, we've got Furies. I think we'll be all right. Yeah, this hand looks great. We've got the turn 1 Grief, and then turn 2 we can bring it back if we want to, or we might just use Bowmasters. We'll see what happens. Opponent leads off with a cookbook. Such a good start for our opponent. And they, oh no. So if you haven't seen this engine before, the Oval Chase Daredevil says whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may return it from your graveyard to your hand. Well, you discard it to the cookbook, and then it makes a food token, and then it goes back to your hand. So you just get a food every single turn. For every cookbook you have as well. It's crazy. What do we got? I guess we could hold off on Grief for a turn. Just in case we happen to draw the scam effect. Oh, and they've got the Saga. Saga is such a problem for this deck. There's one thing that Rakdos really struggles with, and that is enchantments. Yeah, very annoying. And we're not cycling this because we're probably going to pitch it to Grief. Bowmasters is a pretty good draw, but I think we just want to Grief our opponent whilst we've got the chance. See what our opponent's got going on. We can, obviously we don't have to persist it. Depends on what our opponent's got. But these Bowmasters don't feel very strong at the moment because they've already got 2 artifacts in play. So the Saga constructs are going to be huge. I think we're going to... Sure. I don't know why our opponent has chosen to do that. Sure, I guess so. We take the Flame Slash. Grief is gone, that's fine. I think we just pass. There is nothing to do. Like there's no point in bringing back the Grief. The cards in their hand come back. If we make them discard this, it comes back. And I don't really need a 2/1 with Menace right now. And now this Saga is just going to do absolute work. They get to make a 4/4 here. It's going to be a 5/5 when they crack this. We could just lose to the one Urza Saga that they play. Seriously, if you want to beat Scam, if you can put 4 of these in your deck, you stand a pretty good chance. Can't be griefed. Can't be pretty much anything, really. We're just going to end a turn Bowmaster. We might as well use our mana. And we draw Takenuma. Not that that does anything. Takenuma. We'll just play the Bloodstained Mire. And yeah, we can't even attack, really. 1, 2, 3. I guess it'll make it a 4/4. No, because then they can discard and it'll be 5. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. Wait, so actually if we swing 1, 2, 3, 4, then they discard a card would be 5. And then we can't even cast the Fury, so that's not an option. Obviously end of turn they're going to make a 5/5. And we are just solely looking for a consumes all at this point. I don't really know how we ever win without it. These constructs are huge. A land that makes 2 6/6s? That's so unreasonable. We just can't interact with it. This is so rough. Blood Moon obviously is a bit late now anyway. So they're going to go get a Shadow Spear, and I think they just start punching us down. They can go for double Cookbook, and then just try and like flood the board with as many foods as possible. But I think they just want to get a Shadow Spear. Just get a Shadow Spear, swing with us, we'll be dead in like 2 turns. They go for Bauble. What's gone on here? Have they drawn Shadow Spear? They must have drawn it. Well, it doesn't have trample, so we're going to go ahead and block. And then what we're going to do is after combat, we're going to just flash this in later. So then we get another 1/1. There's no point in having it as a 2/2. The Orc Master, obviously. So yeah, we'll go ahead, flash in the Bowmaster. This is largely irrelevant, but we might as well use them if we've got them. And I think we might as well fetch as well. No, we probably shouldn't have because we're playing the new Molten Collapse. That is something I'm going to have to get used to doing, is just not fetching end of turn. We draw a Dothy, which is probably too late. Let's just go... Oh, wrong card. Yeah, let's play Dothy, which does shut off their combo. They should have responded there by cracking this. But I guess they didn't want to. And we'll pass the turn back. It might have been worth playing the Takenuma then, because then if we top deck another land, we could hard cast Fury. But the problem with that is, Fury just doesn't do anything. It literally doesn't kill anything on their side of the field. I can't believe they didn't get a Shadow Spear. We are going to choose to block here with the Bowmasters. They don't draw too many cards, and these are only not going to have trample for so long. I can't imagine that they don't have a Shadow Spear in hand. Like, to get a bauble there is madness if you have Shadow Spear in your deck. Yeah, like the Fury just wouldn't have really helped. I guess we can bring back Grief, take something from their hand, and then maybe play it from Dothy. Yeah, let's have a little look, see what our opponent had in hand, or has in hand. I think the game is basically we just need to stall until we hit a consumes all, and maybe they have something that can draw cards in their hand. I doubt it, but if they have a Shadow Spear, that would be really, really good. All right, opponent, what you got? 3 Daredevils and an Underworld Cookbook. Well, these don't do anything as long as Dothy's in play, so I guess we take the Cookbook. And we'll play this tapped. I guess it doesn't hurt to swing. They don't have anything to block with. No Urza Sagas or anything. End of turn, they are just going to start throwing their Daredevils into exile. Okay. And they're cracking their food as well. At this point, it's pretty pointless having so many foods in play that they don't use. So I think that's fair. These don't really need to be bigger than 7/7. Like, how are we ever killing these, right? They must have boarded out their Shadow Spear. This game would have been over if they had just had a Shadow Spear. And we are going to block. Anything that just chumps a hit is fine, I think. And still, a consumes all off the top does just, like, win the game, I think. Grief. Return target creature or planeswalker. Sadly, that's not enchantment for consumes all, so we'll have a little peek. What you got hanging out over their opponent? 2 Daredevils. Yep, that doesn't do anything. It's discard, right? Yep. We still have a turn or 2 left. So we'll just keep trying to draw that one of those 2 single consumes alls. Because as soon as we draw one, the game gets completely turned in our favor. So I think that's basically pretty much all we can do. Like, we could concede, but there's like a 2 in 45 chance. Both swinging in. Unfortunately, they run Galvanic Blast, so I don't think we can afford to just take one of the hits and go to 3. I guess it'd be 4 because they could do this. So, sorry, 2. That's not how math works. Interesting, they play a Stomping Ground. What are they doing with a Stomping Ground? Cave does not do it, but are we dead? End of turn, they can make a food, untap, make another food. And we go to 1. No. We're not winning that. Let's just go to the next one. Does anything change? Exile target artifact. That's pretty good with the cookbooks. I'm not really sure if we want to be using 2 mana to get rid of their cookbooks, though. I think we want to be using the Consumes All and the Molten Collapse. We're going to run it back, and hopefully we're going to have a bit more of a proactive game plan this time. We didn't really do much last game. We're looking for Consumes All, Blood Moon in our opening hand. Or obviously, the turn 1 Grief is just insane. What do we got? Well, the hand is a mess, so let's send that one back. Sure, we'll go ahead and keep this. We will... I guess we get rid of the Dothy. And we just do the turn 1. We do the turn 1 thing and hope that that's enough. And if they try and Galvanic Blast it when it's brought back, we have a backup. Okay, opponent's on 6 as well. So go land, Fury, pitch the Fable. And not dead after all. Alright, opponent, what have you got? Hopefully a nice little slow hand would be good. Maybe just a turn 1 land go. They do run Flame Slash, so this could just die right now. That would be very, very unlucky for them to have it in their opening hand, but... Oh no. Please not. Okay, that's fine. Opponent just leads up the Ragavan, which is absolutely fine with us. And we draw a land, sure. Well, I guess we just crack our opponent here. We do have the option of keeping up Not Dead After All or playing Dothy. And I'm not sure what's better here, because if we keep up this, then if they hit us with the Ragavan, or sorry, when they hit us with the Ragavan, if they hit a Molten Collapse, we can still save our Fury. I think that's going to be the better option. Obviously, just slamming Dothy seems great, but if they somehow answer this Fury, I think we're mostly out of luck. So we're going to just bag on this Fury, getting the job done. Yeah, so our opponent hits us for 2. And I'm really hoping they do not hit anything too relevant. There's the Molten Collapse. Called it. Yeah, would have been very, very, very sad had I have played the Dothy here. Now, do they want to take their turn 2 play and risk Not Dead After All, killing their Ragavan and undoing their turn 2? Because that's a huge swing, right? They kill this. If we bring this back, they lose a life, they lose their Ragavan, and they lose their turn 2. They do choose to go for it. Luckily for us, we've got the Not Dead After All. We played optimally and didn't just throw away our Fury. Or our chance at a free win. Obviously, we'll deal 4 to Ragavan. That monkey is very dead. Opponent goes down to 11, and now we get to swing at them for 8. If they have another land, they might be able to do something else, but we'll have to see. I wonder what percentage of people would have just played the Dothy. Because I think we would have just lost the game if we had played the Dothy there. Do they have a Flame Slash or something? Oh, just another Ragavan. Sure. We draw Bowmaster. Wow, we have just got incredibly lucky this game. We're going to have to go for a Blood Crypt and Shock. Chuck the Bowmaster in play, ping the Ragavan, hit our opponent for 8. They're down to 2, and they're down to a virtual 1 because of the Wicked token. Wow, this is just really showing how Scam is such a such a degenerate deck. We've barely done anything, and our opponent has just been getting crushed. I just can't see how they win from here. Yeah, sweet. That game was more of just a scam game than anything, but at least we got to see the dinosaur in the previous game. So we ended up on the league going, what's that, 3-2? 2 of our losses, I believe, were to scam. So considering that match was incredibly lucky that we won that, and the 2 losses were to scam, I think that the red-black matchup is absolutely horrendous. And the reason for that is, let me just shoot over to the deck and I'll show you guys actually. Yeah, so I think that the matchup against Scam and just red-black decks in general is horrendous because everyone in red-black these days is playing 4 Bowmasters. They play, if they're playing Scam, they play 4 Dothy. So 4 of each of these. Bowmaster is absolutely incredible against us because it kills our Bowmasters and it kills our Ragavans. Dothy is really good against us because it turns off all of the Undying, like Not Dead After All. Also, it turns off our Persist. And then in the sideboard, people are also playing Leyline in the Void, again, which further punishes us for trying to do all this shenanigans. And because we're doing all the shenanigans, we're actually weaker to the matchup, so we want to board out more cards. So normally Scam doesn't have these 4 Persists to board out, but we do because we don't want these against a Leyline in the Void. We also don't want these against Leyline in the Void, but we also don't want these against Bowmasters. So there's at least 12 cards you want to take out in the Scam matchup. And there's not 12 cards to bring in. So I think the sideboard and the main deck need to be reconfigured so that the Scam matchup isn't so horrendous. But other than that, the deck has been a lot of fun. If you guys enjoyed the content, then make sure to subscribe, like, all that good stuff that makes a huge difference for small content creators like myself. And if you have any suggestions on what you want to see in the future, let me know. I'm always looking for deck lists to play. Mengu showed this deck off on YouTube and I couldn't resist. But I think it was Dak that actually made the list. He seems to be making a lot of lists at the moment. I don't know, he just churns out videos. I don't know how he does it. But thanks for watching, guys.